first of all, thank you, Chief, for those kind words. And I'm really apologetic. If you go back there, the line goes all the way back to the back parking lot. So I feel bad that we have this venue here. But I'm so appreciative. I look around the room and really just genuinely, a heartfelt thank you to everyone that came out. From Nelly, just going around the room. Eric from Tree Factory, Lupe. And Sheriff Fryhoff, thank you for your time. Ron Whitney, who was my boss back in the years. And heartfelt thank you. God, I'm just going to go around the room, it seems like, and just thank everybody. But we have a lot of important people that are here. Selena, thank you for coming out. Adam, thank you for coming out. And many, many others. I tell you, my first time here to the police station was, I think I was like 7, 8 years old. And I accompanied my dad to this same lobby. He was complaining that a police officer down here had taken he had a gambling machine, and they had gone to the neighbor's house for some complaint or something. He said it was because he was at the neighbor's house. He might have been our house, I don't know. But he complained that the garage door was left open, and they saw this gambling machine, because my dad did construction. And so he had come upon this house where he did some work, and the gambling machine was there. At least that's the story he told us. And the police officers that were there realized that it was there, and it was an illegal machine, so they confiscated it. And he came to the property room, and of course, no one was available, and they couldn't give it to him. But that was my first time I set foot here in the police department. And when I was in high school, after a robust discussion with one of my teachers, I told her that I wanted to help. I wanted to be in a place where I could help people. We took one of those surveys, and when you're in high school, to see like your personality traits and where you would best fit in our society. And mine was like helping people. And she said, look, I've got a cousin, Glenn Vello, who works at the police station, and consult with him, go see him, and he may be able to let you know about some job opportunities at the police station. So, I rode my bike over here, and I did. A couple times, thinking I came here, I ended up finding Glenn Vello, and he pointed and said, well, Records has student trainees that work there. So I spoke with then Tina, Tilly, and Sally, Sally was the manager, and Tilly and Tina were the supervisors. And they told me, hey, go to the Boys and Girls Home, that's where you need to get your application. So that's what I did, to be able to work here. And being here, I just got the bug to want to be a police officer, seeing them rushing out of this building, going out there, deploying to emergencies that were happening. And I thought, look, that could be a great police officer. So that's why I set on this mission to be a police officer. But along the way, I met a lot of good people who very organically became my mentors. Not that you don't look for them, but they just happen to come on in your life, and they guide you along the way. And I tell you, one of the ones that reinforced it, and I don't know his name, but I tell you, when I applied to be a police officer, I wanted to do everything right. And I wanted to fill out my application. I used the typewriter that was in the records department and just get everything right and fill out my application. And I know some of the young officers are like, what is a typewriter? But these are the same type of officers that when I text them and ask them, hey, what kind of call are you? What are you doing? They send me back an emoji of just a drunk emoji. Like, really? Like, that's supposed to mean they're doing a DUI investigation. But that's what I did. I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to do everything right. So I prepared. I came early, had my suit ready, and I forgot my shoes. I didn't have my shoes. I had my, some of you may remember, I had the Reebok, the pumps. Remember the pumps? And I was going to go into a chief's interview with Harold Hurt. And I thought, I can't walk in there with my pumps. And I'd be pumping on my shoe. So I didn't know what to do. And I tell you, I went out to the lobby of the police station because there was a gentleman that was sitting there waiting patiently. Back then, we used to issue peddler's permits. Those that sold ice cream, they'd come here and get their license, and we'd issue them an ID with their photo on it. And that was, so I looked at his shoes. And I went out there, and I talked to him in Spanish, and I told them the predicament I was in. And he said, yeah, I'll let you borrow my shoes. They were too small. I ended up curling my toes. But he went to the restroom and he washed the shoes. And just as he came out, I offered to lend him my pumps. And he said, no, that's okay. He declined. But he let me borrow his shoes, and the best he could, he washed them. They were a little faded. But he did it. And at that time, they came out and gave him his ID. He was ready to go. But he sat there patiently because Harold Hurt was behind on his time. But when I came out, he asked me how it went. He had the biggest smile on his face. And just biggest smile. Gave me a hug. I didn't know who he was. But he was that kind of personality, that kind of help, that just shows you genuine leadership from someone who is a peddler in our street, that just genuinely was happy to see somebody else succeed. In that case, he wanted me to be successful for the job I was applying for. So that taught me a valuable lesson. And I wish I would have gotten his name to turn back around and to let him know that, to me, that was so impactful, that somebody like that was cared enough to wait for me at least an hour and a half. Without shoes, he was. And it looked a little comical because he was a shorter person, and his feet were dangling, so he was, and he had a hole in his sock. But that was the value to me in the lesson, and so I saw, this is the kind of leader I'm going to be, and I strive to be that type of leader that just was genuinely, sincerely happy to see other people be successful. And along the way, I had those kind of leaders here in this organization and in life at every point, starting from Jim Jensen, from Mike Adair, who was back there, people that genuinely cared, from Scott, I don't see him here, that just lent a hand. But I also had some leaders that were not so good. They weren't leaders, they were more managers. And it taught me a valuable lesson in seeing the difference in the two. And so when I decided to keep going in my career and put a bid in for mayor, for those that know me best, they knew I always wanted to get into local government because I thought I had a lot to offer. I still have a lot of energy and a lot of motivation to help people. And to me, my career for that role started many, many years ago. As the chief outlined here, he was just making personal connections with people, treating people well, always treating people with dignity and respect, no matter where they are in their life. I was never one to kick somebody when they're down. Certainly not an officer, certainly not the members of our community, who oftentimes we don't know what kind of perilous situation they're in. Sometimes there's dysfunction in the home, as we certainly know, because we are the ones that go into the home quite readily. And so we are not that person to take away what they have, which is usually the last thing that they have is their dignity and self-worth. So I was never one to take that away from people. So as you can see here, I'm just honored to be able to transcend my own community and to have people of various groups in our community represented here. From Young Quicks, you may recognize him, some of the young people. He is an absolute star in our city and in our state and across the world. And he is we're so proud of people like him that are just pushing the city forward and then now giving back as well. And just a superstar that he is. We have Mark back there. He is the owner of the Ventura County Football Club, the first professional football club that we have here in this county, and he's here. So thank you. We have our former housing director, who's also here. Lorenzo, we have Vanessa, a prominent attorney here in town. And I can go on and on and on. Jess, thank you for coming out. Vicente for coming out. Emiliano, he works for the Housing Authority. Thank you for coming out. And my family, you see my young boys there for coming out. We have Eric, who's back there, who is now the proud owner of the Levy House in our historic district. Adam Casillas, who's there. I know he looks like a narc.
He's undercover.
Just because I don't have shorts on today.
We have Ted Lawrence back there as well. He also looks like a narc, but he's the principal of Oxnard High School, and his father worked here. And we have a lot of young people here as well. Abel is back there, Rico's back there. Thank you for coming out. The young people, future leaders here in our city. We have Ricardo, and certainly I'm very appreciative Selena Casarillas came out. She's the president of our harbor. and she just doing a phenomenal job there. I know that our Senator Monique Limona went out to that event, and Monique just spoke about all the great work that you're doing. And speaking of being guided and leadership, it's, something like that just happens, like something that's been a tremendous help to me in my career here, and also in my bid for mayor, so I'm very appreciative. And we have certainly Alvita back there. Alvita and I don't want to spend too much time with her, and I go way back. And she, every step of the way, she's helped me. So I'm indebted to her, and this community should owe her a lot of respect for everything she's done for this community. Alfonso, he's the president of our neighborhood council at Rose Park. And Edgar, a lot of officers, hey, you guys can thank him for all the rejections we get at juvenile hall. I know the Knights of Columbus folks are in the hallway, they're here as well. The Lions Club is here as well. The Mexican consulate, I think, is out there. I saw him out there as well. And certainly all the officers, I know I saw our NARC team back there, our SWAT team back there, other commanders that are back there, the investigative unit. So I'm just appreciative of Aaron Starr. Thank you. Aaron Starr is our new elected council member who made his way here. So thank you, Aaron, for being here as well. And so I'm just so appreciative the president of our Democratic Club is here as well. Representatives of the collection, the general manager of the collection is here, and many other business owners. And Gary Emart is back there, Heidi, who actually was a key in hiring me. So I can go on, but I'm just to close it out, I'm just extremely thankful to this city who believed in me enough to give me a job and enough to give me a career. And I am certainly just in debt to this city. And what I want to do in my transition to mayor is create those opportunities for others to have that same opportunity to be able to have a good quality of life. Because certainly at the very end, all we do as policemen, we can never forget in this profession that what we want to do is we want to take care of people, protect their life, their property, and also enhance their quality of life. Because as long as you get older, don't let this, good looks fool you. I've been here for 35 years. Right, don't let this fool you. I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I pay attention. But I like the way our city is now. This police department is very different than when I started. When I started, Chief Benitez will tell you, I went from one side of the city to the other, translating, because the key was always, no Nintendo. It's like, what the Nintendo? No Nintendo. No, anyway. But that was how. And nowadays, you don't hear that we're asking for a Spanish translator. Now it's our police department is that much more reflective of the city that we work in, and that is we're enhancing our service delivery to people. So one thing you can't get back is your time. So I thank everyone who came out here for their time. You led me today to celebrate in this moment with me. Chief Andrew Salinas, thank you for your time, sharing another key person in my life who got to be along the way. So thank you, Sharon, for what you did for me in my career.
At that time, I got your car off the pole down on.
Oh, that's what we were talking about there. The chief is there. I'm gonna need Vanessa's help on this. But thank you so much, everybody, for your time. I can't give you that time back, and it means a lot that you took out of your day today to come celebrate this occasion with me. So thank you all very much. I got some tacos in the back for you. I got some drinks in the back for you. And some of you I know will join me tonight at the swearing-in this evening at council chambers. So thank you so much for your time that you came out, and for those people all the way in the back that didn't hear me, just thank you. Thanks for your time for being here. Go back and, unless you want to rap or something.